Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Ozark Mountain Outdoor Adventures. I think you're going to like this one. You're going to want to watch this one through to the end. The last few episodes leading up to this, I've been looking for specific buck sign, and in this episode, we find it. Stay tuned, you're in for quite a treat.
Stock on them?
Thinking about it. She's pretty calm.
How far off the road do I have to be to shoot?
I think you're supposed to be 50 feet.
Well, I do or she does?
You do. Maybe 150 feet. I'm being generous.
Is she still there?
Yeah, they're both still there.
Let's see if I can get a range on her.
Oh, they're moving off. She moved off.
It's like right at 100.
Well, I guess we're ready.
Guess so. Let's drive up here and see what they did. They will come right back, because the other night they were there and they went that way. I went down and hunted. When I came out, they were standing right over here in this grass.
They were just standing. So she looked somewhere else too.
They'll come right back out. What they do is they just step inside the woods, wait for us to drive by, and they
Yeah,
come back
they'll
out.
come right back out.
So do we want to do the work, what we're thinking about doing, or do we want to sit down in this field?
Well, depends on what you want to do. If we're just going up there in hopes to kill a doe, there's
Well,
some does right there.
There could be bucks up there too, though.
Yeah, I said we go ahead and stick with the
Stick with the
plan.
plan?
Stick with the plan.
Okay. So we're gonna walk up that, and then go across over by where them big rocks are. We're gonna be up there on top of that ridge. That's the plan.
Man, this little GoPro don't even do justice on that. Oh my gosh.
That's why I bought you a Monster Energy drink, buddy.
Oh, jeez.
We're gonna be sweating to the oldies Richard Simmons up in this sucker tonight.
Man. What have you got me into?
Oh, there is a
This
truck
car.
there. Okay, so we're back at the spot we call Mountaintop. If you look over there, that's why. So basically we're going to the top of that, more or less. Public land, I don't think anybody goes up there. I went up it the other night and I don't know why I did, but lots of sign, lots of deer. Al's with me tonight. He brought only cameras. We're gonna two-man hunt this. I have a doe tag and a buck tag with bow. If it's brown, it's down. We're killing something tonight. So stick with us. Here we go. Taste the doe. Sure how fresh it is. Oh, is it good? It's good. It's great.
after the first sit in our spot A, we got up, walked up the hill. I really liked what I saw, and I considered sitting there. But after talking it over with Alan, we decided we were going to stick to the original plan, and down the hill we went.
It's got eyes on a big buck over here. There's no way both of us can sneak up on him over there. I have no idea where it is. So here's the deal. We came to our second setup. The other night when I was here, I seen a bunch of deer on the mountaintop. Came down into this bottom to check this field, specifically right before dawn. I seen a big bodied deer. I couldn't see the rack, but it was a big body, and I was fairly certain it was a buck. Got down here tonight, and as soon as we were coming around the corner, I seen him bounding up that wood line and into the brush. He's a nice 8 or 10 pointer, got a real nice basket rack on him. He's definitely a shooter, definitely. I grunted, did a little bit of horn play to make him think it might be 2 bucks sparring. He didn't smell us, and I don't think he really saw us. I think he heard us coming, so we're hoping maybe he thinks we're another buck. Might pop back out. If not, we're definitely coming back here because this buck's gonna die this year. I promise you that. Buck. Hold on. Like a fork and horn. Back in. Our buck out. Oh my God. It's a bigger buck. That's a shooter. Alright. Comes up here, I'm gonna kill him. Oh, that's a nice buck, dude. Oh, that's a good one. Yep. Let him come on in. Stud. you see where it hit? I didn't.
Okay, so we just made the shot on this buck. We reviewed the footage, couldn't really see penetration. All we really had to go off was the sound. We knew that the shot sounded good. So we immediately got up and went to the last place we saw the deer. We couldn't find the bolt, we couldn't find hair, we couldn't find blood. All we had to go off of was the dirt was turned up where he turned and started to run up the hill. So we got down in the brush and we started looking for paths of least resistance or something, a sign to where he went through and maybe broke some limbs. We were trying to find that first blood. We never did find it. We spent probably the next 30 to 45 minutes just walking around the hill looking. Kind of was at that point where you decide, do we continue to go or do we go home and come back in the morning? We decided to make one more circle around the top of that hill. I stumble on some sign, I yell at Alan, he starts rolling a camera and he heads up the hill. We're going to share that part with you now.
You see what I saw. Come on to me.
All right.
Right here. I want you to see what I saw. I was coming back down the hill and I said, all right, Lord, last chance, I'm gonna go down. Okay? Come right here. Stand right here. Okay? I was walking right here. All right, hang on. Where is it? Right here. Right here. See it?
That's the first blood?
See that? That's first blood. Right there. See it?
Yeah.
And then I went like this.
Oh.
You see that? And then I saw that, and then I went like that. How we got him, bud. Look at that shot.
That's a monster, dude.
Look at that shot.
Get over there and pull him up.
Look at that shot. Ow.
Perfect.
Oh,
Perfect.
he ran up here and fell.
Man, that's a beautiful buck. Thank you, Lord.
Thank you, Jesus. Look at that.
Nice shot. We were worried. We've been looking for a while. First blood, and there's the deer.
What a beautiful.
Here, hold on.
Guys, let me tell you something. This footage, earlier in this video, I sat by that tree when we were at that first set. And I said to the camera, I said, you gotta put in the work. You can't just walk out in the woods and sit in a tree and expect to kill deer. You gotta put in the work. You gotta get out there and find the rubs, find the prints, find the poop, do the work. You do the work on public land in Missouri, this is available.
Man, congratulations, dude.
Ozark Mountain Outdoor Adventures, kids. Look at this. BBD, first one of 2020. My buddy Al behind the camera. Couldn't have done it without him. Made a just almost
We were
perfect shot.
scared.
Look at that.
We were scared to death.
Look how big he is. Oh man, he didn't go that far at all. Was you in the bottom when I hollered at you?
I was going over the footage again.
How far up here was I?
Not far.
He did, so when we heard him run and stop,
He fell.
he was done.
That's where he went down at.
We went that way. He was this way.
That was the first blood, and there's the deer, 5 yards from the blood.
You know what? Let's track the blood back.
Okay.
I'd be curious to see where the blood actually did start. It would help us for the future, right?
Man,
Look at this stud. Beautiful Missouri 8-point.
man, that is a trophy and a half, dude. I'm telling you what. What's the date today? 23rd? 24th? 23rd.
I have no clue. I really don't care. I really don't care right now. My buck tag is filled. I'm gonna get behind the camera now and I'm gonna let Alan come in here and get one. We saw another buck in here that you could get.
Yeah.
And to be honest, Al, I don't think this was the first one I jumped.
He looked huge, man, when he was on the hoof. He looked huge.
I don't think this is the one we saw first tonight, Al. I think there's still another big one in here.
That's a great deer, though.
Oh, I am not mad at all.
I'm telling you,
Look at
beautiful rack. He was beautiful. He had grass hanging out of his mouth.
this. You gotta get a picture, bud.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Hey, folks. I would say welcome back, but we don't do commercials. So, let me run this down for you. This is, did you ever figure out what the date was, Al?
I think it's the 23rd, man.
September?
Yeah, it's definitely September.
Okay. September 23rd. Bow season started the 15th. I was using my Onyx Hunt map and just looking at public land. I started out going to Mark Twain National Forest. I hit a couple spots. And I'm specifically looking for sign, looking for buck sign. And those spots didn't pan out. I got a tip from a guy at work. So, Trent, thank you. He told us about this spot with this big ridge that runs pretty big bucks. Came the other night, went up on the ridge, didn't see a buck, had a bunch of does come in on me, saw a lot of good sign. When I walked out, I jumped a buck. We came back tonight. Al came with me to film. The plan was to do 2 sits, start on the hill in the bedding area before dark, get down here to the bottom. When we got to the bottom, I seen a good shooter buck run into the woods. I was pretty deflated. Al said, hey, don't worry, there might be another one, you never know. It wasn't 2 or 3 minutes, and I looked down the field, and a little, he had a 4 on this side, and then like a 4 on this side. He came out. Of course, Al's like, I'll shoot him, you know. And I thought for a minute we were gonna have to switch, and I was gonna grab the camera and give him the crossbow. But the little buck stood there, turned, and he went back in the woods. And when he went back in, I thought I seen a bigger rack beside him, but I wasn't gonna say anything because, you know, my hopes were already down. Sure enough, that little buck went back in, and I heard Al say, hey, he came back out. And when I looked, I knew it was not the same little buck. And this dude just, it was like he had a string right to us. He come walking down the edge of that field. You could see him eating grass, hanging out of his mouth, looking beautiful. I heard Al say at one point, shoot him. I wasn't comfortable. I felt like he was a little too far. I'd ranged that spot at 30, and I thought he was about 40, and I wanted him a little closer. Finally got up to me. Al didn't really have that good of a view in the camera, but I had the view for the shot. So I thought, you know what, plop. We heard him run up the hill, and we thought he stopped. He didn't really crash. So we went to look for blood. We never found the arrow. We couldn't find blood anywhere. Not a drop of blood, no hair, nothing. The shot sounded like it hit a good vital area, but when you don't find that sign, you get discouraged because you don't even know where to look. I mean, he could run miles. You know, we replayed the footage and we couldn't tell where I hit him at. So we were to the point, I was walking a little lap up there. I went farther up the hill, and we had always been going left. I went to the right this time. And I just said to myself, I said, Lord, I said, you know, if you want me to find him, I wanted to find him tonight to harvest the meat out of him, because the thought of that, all this meat going to waste just disgusts me. And I just said, Lord, you know, I'd really like to walk up on this thing, you know, as I wasn't expecting to. You just don't ever walk up on the deer without any sign to where they went. And sure enough, as soon as I said it, I looked down and I seen a giant amount of red blood. And I yelled at Al, which was down the hill where I'd shot him, and I said, I got blood, I got good blood. And I turned my head just a foot to the left, and I seen a ton of blood. And I turned my head like this, and he was laying 5 feet from me right there. I started jumping up and down, screaming at Al, thanking the good Lord. I just knew we'd been successful. It is so cool to come into public land here in Missouri. I mean, anyone can come out to this land and hunt, okay? And if you got the right tools in the toolbox, you can read the signs that these deer leave, and you can follow this, and you can narrow it down, and you can get set up on them. We sat under that tree, I bet not 10 minutes altogether. From the time we sat down under that tree till the time he'd come walking out, it couldn't have been 10 minutes. It just happened that quick. But very happy to punch this tag. I cannot wait to get behind the camera, come back in here. I think we're gonna go to the same spot because there's definitely more deer there. We know for a fact. So Al's gonna be shooter next time. Maybe we can get Justin in on some of this, but we just couldn't be happier. We got a lot of work to do now, so that's gonna be it for this episode. We appreciate you tuning in. It's Ozark Mountain Outdoor Adventures, public land, baby. It don't get no better.